Well, look who's back.
Yeah, buddy.
Why do you sound like that?
Picked up a cold while traveling.
Oh, you picked up something in Thailand?
Don't do that.
I don't think I have to. I'm pretty sure people will put two and two together, you know?
Gross.
But accurate.
Whatever. I'm pretty sure they'll be too busy talking about how you fell on your face tonight.
It's one game.
Oh, so you aren't getting nervous?
About what?
You've had a few blown leads recently.
It happens. I'm not concerned.
Okay, alright, okay. But I want you to remember this conversation. When it's late in the third period, Game 7, Round 1, and you're holding on to a 1-goal lead. And I want you to remember that you said you weren't concerned.
Oh, yeah? You think that'll scare me?
Oh, I think it might.
You want to know why I'm not scared?
Why's that?
'Cause I'm probably playing the Leafs in the first round.
Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. That's a good point. Low quality fans! Oh no. Low quality fans! I just realized how difficult this is going to be. As you can tell from my voice, things aren't amazing in the health category. We're down in the lower percentile there, but that's fine because we got to be back. It's been almost 3 weeks. I got to be back. We got to talk about this game. So the voice is going to have to suffer a little bit. I don't know if work's going to happen tomorrow. You know, the little stuff. Who cares? Who cares? What a dub! What a massive dub. I can't possibly get out the whole thing in the beginning, the shouting. It's not going to happen. But that's a huge dub by the Bruins, who now sit in first in the Atlantic, which is fine. Did we really care about the standings that much? I'm wondering from you guys, like, put below if you actually gave a shit about where we end up in that division, or if it's really just about getting the result against teams that you need to get a result against. And I was going to kind of save this for a game note, but this is kind of a decent way to open. It's well documented that this team is basically 500 since the first 10 games. I mean, if you just count overtime losses as losses, we're more or less 500. It's way more palatable. It's way more, I don't know, it's just easier to deal with when you're winning games like these against this competition. And the Panthers now are sitting on some real questions because they've cooled off lately, 4-5-1 in their last, or 5-4-1 in their last 10. But all 5 of those losses, and now 6 in a row, have come against playoff teams. I shouldn't say in a row because that's not accurate. They have won some games against playoff teams during that stretch as well. But having 6 losses in their last 11 games to all playoff caliber teams, you could look at it as, hey, those are the teams you would be losing against, right? You don't want to be losing against bad teams. But also, those are the games that you want to have a better record in, obviously. The teams that you are going to face coming up. Now look, the Bruins aren't in that much better of a standing right there, so I'm not kind of comparing the two, but I think Panthers fans are probably having that conversation amongst themselves. And now the Bruins are 3-0-0 against the Panthers this year. We know that doesn't really mean all that much, but this is as close to the final version of the Panthers team that we're going to face, and we would be likely to face in the playoffs if we meet. This matters. This matters for a lot of reasons, because 1, you won, right? Dub. A. But 2, you came back late in the third. You took a 1-goal lead, and then you held that 1-goal lead. And it was dicey. I get it. But you played calm, cool, collected. Instead of just chucking the puck for the net and getting icing after icing, knowing you can't win those faceoffs, they cleared the puck responsibly. Yes, they were giving possession back, but they were stuck in positions where it was either give possession back on the other side of the ice or ice it or turn it over in your zone. You take their option every time of just sky it, get the line change, continue to defend. I thought it was a pretty good job by them. Obviously, Swayman had to make a huge save and Lindholm had to come up with a huge block, but that's a great gutsy win that you held on to that lead to finish off the game, something this team has struggled with all year. It matters. That kind of stuff matters, and it matters at the right time. I mentioned the Panthers have cooled off, but they still have incredible stats across the board. They are the 4th best power play in the league, the 7th best penalty kill. They have the 12th most goals scored per game, and it shocks me every time I see it, but they have the number 1 defense in the league. They have the fewest goals allowed per game by a margin last time I checked. We, like I mentioned, have won the previous 2 meetings this season, but that was November and October. So this was 2 more complete teams facing each other with very few injuries. The Bruins will line up as such. We got Marchand, Coyle, DeBrusk, Heinen, Zacha, Pasternak, Lauko, Geeky, Frederick, Beecher, Boquist, Brazeau, Grizz, Mack, Lindholm, Carlo, Wotherspoon, Peak, and then Swayman. This game was especially interesting to me because the Bruins are coming off of 2 losses and a brutal practice yesterday where Monty was very vocal, put the boys through a little bag skate session, and was screaming at them about clearing the puck properly through a good portion of it. Monty had said and was quoted saying they weren't prepared to play against Philly. He hated the way that game went, particularly in the third, and they weren't prepared to practice on Monday, so he made them pay for it. And it looks like the guy who's paying the steepest fine here is JVR, who's actually going to miss this game as a healthy scratch, I believe. He missed a couple games due to illness, and then he came back against Philly, but he's going to miss this one. I think it's the right decision, honestly. His 5-on-5 play hasn't been good enough, and quite frankly, the power play hasn't been good with him on it either. So it's really like, why do we have this guy in the lineup? I still kind of defend we should have traded him at the deadline because I think somebody would have paid assets for him at that deal with the numbers that he had so far this season. But that's fine. He'll make his way back into the lineup soon, I'm sure, because we're going to talk about our friend Lauko and unpleasant Lauko game in general. But let's talk about this game, shall we? Puck drops. That's the best I've got. That's the best I've got. I'm sorry. 27 seconds. 27 seconds in. The game started in a heartbreaking fashion that reminded us exactly how we lost that series last year. But this is exactly the way this game needed to start. And it happened exactly to the player it needed to happen to, although I don't think he rebounded super well. 27 seconds in, Tarasenko flies in and crushes Geeky. Now, first of all, Grizz shouldn't have made this blind back pass to empty area in our ice. Knowing the way the Panthers play, that was a dumb decision. Geeky collects and pauses. He hesitates. Tarasenko comes in, smashes him into the boards, knocks his helmet off, which means he can't play the puck anymore. He has to go to the bench by the rule, or else he's going to take a penalty. So it's immediately a 5-on-4. Tarasenko works the puck around, passes it over to Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He is going to then touch it right back to Tarasenko, who went up to the high slot. Tarasenko's going to blast this. Barkov's going to win the battle after it's blocked down in front of the net to retrieve it. Goes to Sway's glove side, tries a sharp angle, goes off the post, off of his glove, behind Sway, and then I believe it's Rodriguez has a wide open tap-in. Few issues here. The turnover should never have happened in the first place. Geeky wasn't part of this team last year and might not exactly remember how that all went. This team, even though we've played them a couple times this year, months and months ago, this is a good reminder. You can't fuck around with the puck in your zone. You can't do it. They will make you pay for it every time. And the reminder happening early in the game, it sucks that they scored, but hey, you needed that reminder. Get back on it. The other thing is, Lauko, in 30 seconds, made me go, okay, we're going to scratch you next game. Like, that's all it took. Because it is insane that Lauko stood behind Rodriguez, farther away from the net, just right behind him, and watched this play. Didn't tie up Rodriguez, didn't get between him and the net, nothing. Just stood right behind him. That is an ineffectual play, ineffectual position. There's nothing he can do there. I have no clue why he did it. I would have benched him the rest of the game. That's not true. But I am absolutely like, nope, that one play is enough for me to, next game you're sitting, we're going to rotate someone else in. Is that a little harsh? Maybe. But that is unacceptable. We'll move on. 110 in. Wotherspoon is going to get slashed and gets a late hit from Tkachuk on this shift. And it's going to end with Tkachuk losing an edge, backing into him, going low on Wotherspoon. Going low on him. And Wotherspoon reasonably loses his fucking mind and starts wailing on Tkachuk. Now, of course, Bennett's going to jump in to defend Tkachuk. Both of them are going to get roughing calls, but Wotherspoon's going to get the extra 2. So we're going to go on the penalty kill, which we killed it. I didn't think this was a dumb play by Wotherspoon. Honestly. I was like, you know what? No. Don't allow that. And honestly, to the refs, stop falling for this crap. Stop. How did you not have the book on this guy yet? It's ridiculous. Either way, we're going to kill that off. we did deserve a penalty there. I'm not going to say we didn't. I'm just saying refs should stop falling for all the other crap and the antics. It's fine. 6:01 left. Lundell's going to go for tripping. We're going to go power play. No dice. 2:17 left. It's been a great second half to the period for us, and it's a great shift by the Zaka line. Tough on the puck. The play does not happen without Heinen making a possession play down the right wall and then back up it, shifting the puck across the side. Just excellent, simple work by him. He didn't show up a lot in this game, but he played a big role in this. Pasta is going to end up taking a hit to make a play in the left corner. He's going to move the puck up the left wall to Zaka, who's also going to take contact to move that puck farther up the left wall to Grizz. And Grizz is just going to fling this across to McAvoy, who's wide open in the right circle because there is so much contact and so much play happening and fighting for the puck happening on the left side. The entire Panthers team moved to that side. McAvoy's wide open. You don't usually get to see this. He loads up an absolute lightning strike and hammers this top glove. You don't usually see the slap shot coming in close. I love it. Top glove, 1-1, and it's huge. It gets us right back into it. But we want to take ourselves right back out of it. Because why wouldn't we, right? This is the way the Bruins have played this year. 1:04 left. Carlo facing pressure as he collects in our zone. This is exactly what we talked about. You can't make blind passes in the defensive zone against this team. He whips it up the boards. On the right side, it misses DeBrusque by a mile. It's collected by Tkachuk and then sent over to Luosterainen. I suck at that name. I don't know why I can't get it. Luosterainen. That's wrong. He tries to feed the slot. It gets bounced, blocked by Carlo, gets bounced right back out to him. He's going to then feed the crease once again, and Reinhart coming in is going to get it off the skate and in, and it's 2-1 late. 1 minute and 4 seconds left of the first period. On the second half of the first period where you dominated, that was their first shot on net in the last 14 minutes of the period. Tough. Just tough to allow that one. But you're going into the second. There's still a ton of time. You're only down a goal. And this is a Panthers team you want to beat. No one expected this Bruins team to fade away. 5:11 into the second period. It's a big stop by Swayman, and things get real chippy after. Lindholm and Bennett actually drop him. They shed him. I'm surprised by this, and Lindholm was the one who threw the first punch. So Bennett clearly wins that. He beats the brakes off Lindholm. But it's fine. Get the boys going. Each get 5 for fighting. And then 7:15 in. After a stoppage, a few players pursue Tkachuk because he laid a big hit on Beecher. They call Beecher for a slashing because Beecher whacked Tkachuk's stick, which was a call. The fun part of this is every single member on the ice gets into a scrum other than Tkachuk, who's 10 feet away jawing, which is kind of his thing. It's just who he is as a guy, you know? You can respect it or you cannot respect it. I certainly don't. We're going to the penalty kill. 37 seconds left of the penalty kill. Tkachuk gets hit with a high stick, meaning he takes a high sticking penalty. I don't know why I phrased it like that. But I think it's actually Reinhardt's. Either way, Tkachuk goes. It's 4v4 for 37 seconds, and then 5v4 for $1.23. And the power play version of this for us sucks. It's terrible. Directly after the power play, though, Marchand recognizes that it sucks. And he gets in Mikkola's face, and they throw bones. Marchand's going to throw him with a 6'5", 208-pound man. Marchand is 5'9", 180-something pounds. It's like a 30-pound difference and a 8-inch difference. Mikkola ends up wrapping him up and taking him to the ice, which thank you, Mikkola, for not just absolutely obliterating our captain, because you probably could have if you wanted to. But that's your captain trying to make a statement, and I'm pretty okay with it. Should he have to? Should he be the one who does that? I don't know. There's an argument against it, but also you got to respect that, right? And it worked. 4:01 left, and Pasta's going to get his 100th point. It starts with Marchand again, though. He's going to lay some forechecking pressure. Has to go through contact just to get to the defenseman to strip him of the puck. The puck gets bumped away, and then it's going to get fed right back down behind the net. Pasta is going to be there to disturb Mikkola enough so that he's forced into wrapping the puck around. McAvoy's going to intercept on the right wall. He pivots to get away from one defender and then waits for Pasta to wrap around the net. No one sees him. It's a perfect pinpoint tape-to-tape pass. Pasta collects and then buries it over the Bobrovsky that is sprawling out. It is 2-2, a massive goal, pretty late in the second, and now you have a win the period, win the game situation. The same situation that I don't think the Bruins have been incredible in this year. I don't think any of us believe that. we needed, and it felt like, even though you've beat this team twice this year, everything like that, but again, it was way earlier, it felt like the Bruins needed to make a statement here of, this is a tight game, it's going to stay a tight game, but we're going to win it. We're going to beat a really good team in regulation. It didn't look exactly like they were going to for a bit there, because 10:07 left of the period, after 10 minutes of a pretty solid effort, I think, for the Bruins. They're not able to get a lot on net, but they were buzzing. I'm so sick of this play. And it's rare that I've had a reason to point at Coyle and go, no, dude, no. But he's coming down the right wall. He fires on the net and misses wide, and it wraps around, and it's numbers the other way for the Panthers. Stop doing that. I know every team does it, and you're going to take shots from angles, and it's going to break the other team out. But when you're in transition like that, it's a brutal play because you're just giving up numbers and momentum because you guys are all moving forward. They're going to take it, and they're going to space. Either way, it's going to be a 3-on-2 the other way. Tkachuk is going to fling it to Verhaeghe on the left side, and Verhaeghe's going to wait for a moving screen to get in front of Swayman. As soon as it gets there, he fires this. It looks like the puck hit something. I think it hit Swayman's glove at a certain point. Hard for me to tell, but either way, it's 3-2 midway through the third. You're going to need a real gutsy effort. And it looks like you get something here. 8:49 left, McAvoy slashed by Stenlund, going to the power play. Was it a weak call? Probably. I would say so. Didn't end up battering. 23 seconds later, Marchand goes for interference for a horribly weak call. So they're basically going to be offsetting. It's 4v4 for 137 with a quick penalty kill. We kill that out. And then Rodriguez makes a massive mistake. 5:43 left. He's going to go over the glass delay of game. Huge. We'd be crucifying any of our players for that, obviously, with a 1-goal lead late in the game. But we'll take it when it's the other team. About $1:20 into the power play, the first unit's already off, but Marchand has stayed on, and he sprints through the neutral zone. Looks like he's going to lose the puck, but somehow we get a good bounce. He stays with it on that left wall, gets into the offensive zone, and he is just going to absolutely hammer this. This is a hell of a pass with speed to Freddie, who's basically alone in the slot. He collects and goes sniper-rooney and jeez. High glove on Bobrovsky. Freddie finally gets one. I think it's been 30 games since he's had a power play goal or something crazy like that. And as much as I wanted fight night Freddie, and I thought he should have been more physical in this one, game-tying goal Freddie, pretty solid. I'll take that. I'll take that for sure. And then 2 minutes later, 2:21 left. It's a great keep-in by Wotherspoon. He knocks it down. He quickly moves it to the right side where Pasta is sitting in the right circle with his back turned to the goal, and he's just going to turn and spin it and throw it into the crease because that's what he does. And Zacha is there with the skate. It goes in. It's 4-3, and that's your final score. It's going to be a gutsy last 2 minutes. They're going to pull Bobrovsky right away, and we're going to have multiple clears that we're focused on keeping the puck alive rather than icing it. We're not just gunning for the net. I thought that was the right decision. It does give possession right back, but it does maintain that time moving. And because of how poor we are in faceoffs in our own zone, late in games especially, it's a better opportunity for us than just icing it over and over again. But that's a huge dub. Game notes. The voice is doing its best. One goalie is going to make Monty's decision on who gets game one. I think that race is wide open. Swayman wasn't abhorrent in this game. He wasn't terrible, anything like that. You could hardly blame him for a couple of these. I don't think he's playing up to what he should be. I think his rebound control hasn't been there. I think he's struggled with a lot of puck management. He did get a secondary assist, though, on Freddie's goal. But he just hasn't been great. Olmark, you could say the same thing. There's been moments where he looks great and there's moments where he doesn't. So down the stretch, I expect one goalie to really grab that job by the horns. Obviously, I think they're still going to do the tandem thing in the playoffs, but this was another game where you're like, no one's grabbed that starting role yet. Pasa is the first Bruin with back-to-back 100-point seasons since 1994. I'll give you a second to guess who the last guy was. Yeah, Adam Oates, you nailed it. Good job by you. A little Dora the Explorer action there. And then the last game note was, again, just this team being 500 for most of the season. If you count overtime losses, just regular losses, it's just so much easier to handle when you're beating good teams. Like, you have the stinker, and look, this team is not going to go 16-2 in the playoffs. But the team stays with everybody. They're in these games. So are we turning most of these series into coin flips as the best case scenario? Yeah. Does that mean long-term success? Who knows? But if you could do it for 2 months, hell yeah. We've said it all year. Things have to go right for this team to win a cup. And they haven't done anything to dissuade me from that, which is honestly still a good thing. With the roster construction and everything, we knew this isn't going to be a juggernaut team. They also don't look like a team that's going to be an easy out. I think they're going to play hard, and it's going to be a really interesting every round they make it to. There's not going to be any easy rounds, which there never really is. But this is a huge win, and it feels good, and the boys needed it. It's a positive boost for them. They finished the game out well, and I'm sure Monty's telling them that. So it's good to see. I'm glad to be back. Thailand was awesome. Hopefully I get over this soon. We got Tampa tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Go Bees. Go Bees. Go Bees.
Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching, but it is time to give a shout out to our high quality inspectors. We've got our top line tier inspectors. We got Brock Nope, Han Slomo, Coach D, the Bugman, the Atomic Lizard, Bradley Johnson, Aaron Adams, Just Aaron, Darren Woodbury, Brett Arney, Pinsen, and Nick Citrullo. Thank you guys so much for your support. It is greatly appreciated. And of course, massive props to these absolute stallions, the all-star tier inspectors. We have Bruin Smash, Jason Ozzy, Bruin Connolly, Hyle E. Coyote, Adam Ella, Jonathan Harvey, Joel, Abraxion, Jacob Pratt, Tupton D. Tashi, D.A. Kingery, The Only Newts, A Tasty Snack, Doots42, and Jeremy. You guys are absolute studs. I can't thank you enough, and go Bees.